Ever had one of those days? You wake up early, you work flat out, you answer 100 emails, you solve a dozen problems, and when you finally collapse, you look at your to-do list and it's longer than when you started. Or maybe you know that quiet hum of anxiety on a Sunday night, that dread, not of one specific thing, but of the sheer overwhelming volume of the week to come. If you felt that, you're not alone. This feeling of being perpetually rushed, constantly behind, caught on a treadmill that only speeds up, has become a central pattern of modern life. For a long time, I thought this was a personal failure, my fault, a lack of discipline, poor time management. But that's not true. This feeling isn't a bug in your personal programming. It's a core feature of the modern world's operating system. And in this video, we're going to stop asking, what's wrong with me? And start asking, what is happening to all of us? To understand our burnout, we have to understand our world. A world one sociologist had a powerful name for: liquid modernity. He argued that for most of recent history, the world was solid. You had a lifelong career, a stable community, a fixed identity, solid structures. But over the last 50 years, these solids melted. Globalization and technology dissolved them into a state of constant flux. The job for life is gone. Today, the median employee tenure is just 4 years, and the average person will hold 12 jobs in their lifetime. This is the gig economy. Uncertainty rebranded as flexibility. We are all expected to constantly reinvent ourselves on ground that is forever shifting. So the ground is unstable, and on that ground, we're on a treadmill that's constantly speeding up. A sociologist named Hartmut Rosa calls this social acceleration. He says 3 engines are firing at once: technological acceleration, the staggering speed of information, there's social acceleration, which is the shrinking shelf life of our skills, and then a strange paradox, which is the acceleration of life itself. So despite all our time-saving tech, we feel like we have less time. It's a societal version of the Red Queen's race from Alice in Wonderland. As the Red Queen says, it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. And this is the logic of our lives now. Run faster, learn more, be more productive, just to avoid falling behind. It's a state of frenetic standstill, constant exhausting motion that goes nowhere. So, an unstable world, an accelerating treadmill. The final piece of the pattern is what this does to us internally. The philosopher Byung-Chul argues we've moved from a disciplinary society to an achievement society. The old society was about rules, walls, what you should not do. Its icon was the factory. But the achievement society is all about positivity. Its mantra is, yes, we can. And its icon is the co-working space. And here's the trap. In this new system, the master and the slave are the same person. We are our own taskmasters. We freely choose to optimize our lives, our bodies, our productivity, until we collapse. Han calls this auto-exploitation. And the name for that collapse is burnout. So let's recap the pattern. We're building a life on unstable ground, in a race with no finish line, driven by our own internal pressure. When you see it like that, burnout seems less like a choice and more like an inevitability. But seeing the pattern is how we find a new map. For that, we turn to 2 parables. The first comes from a fundamental law of the universe, the second law of thermodynamics. It states that in any closed system, chaos or entropy always increases. Left alone, everything falls apart. To create order, a career, a family, a life, you have to constantly expend energy. Our liquid modern world has incredibly high social entropy. All that systemic chaos, the burden of creating order from it falls on you. Burnout then is personal entropy. It's the point where you've spent so much energy fighting the chaos that your own system starts to fall apart. So if the universe pulls us towards chaos and society tells us to go faster, what do we do? A modern parable offers a way out: the slow movement. Now, the slow movement isn't about doing everything at a snail's pace. It's about finding what the Italians call the tempo giusto, the right speed. This is a rebellion against the Red Queen's race. It argues we shouldn't have one frantic speed for our lives. We should have many. Some tasks need speed: emails, chores. But the things that give life meaning, deep work, real connection, finding purpose, cannot be rushed. They demand slowness. Burnout is what happens when we apply the logic of the treadmill to the art of living. Okay, we have our parables: an energy system fighting chaos, a quest for the right speed. How do we make that practical? First, get honest about your energy. Try a stoic exercise. List your anxieties, and then draw 2 columns: in my control and not in my control. The chaos of the world, the speed of society, that goes in the second column. Your choices, your attention, that goes in the first. The goal is to stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable and reinvest it where it actually matters. Second, get intentional with your speed. Try a pace audit. This week, find one area of your life that needs to be slower. Maybe it's dinner with your family. Find one task where speed is a useful tool. Maybe it's your inbox. Simply choosing your tempo is an act of rebellion. It's how you step off the treadmill. So if you're feeling burnt out, it's not because you're lazy, it's not because you're weak, it's because you are a finite energy system in a constant battle with universal chaos, trapped in a race that says there is only one speed. Burnout isn't a bug, it's a feature of the modern world's operating system. And understanding that doesn't solve it overnight, but it gives us a new map. It allows us to stop blaming ourselves and start looking for a better way to live. And that's the conversation I want to have. We've journeyed through liquid modernity, the Red Queen's race, and the pressure to achieve. We found parables in physics and in the wisdom of slowing down. Now, it's your turn. What's one area of your life where you have felt has burnt out? Let's share those notes in the comments. Talking about this is how we find our way. If you believe understanding these patterns is the first step toward a better future, subscribe. Join the conversation. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Grace and peace.